Though it is only mid-November, winter has arrived in the Colorado Rockies. A bucket full of the white stuff fell on Denver overnight, 6 inches in all, meaning that warm weather gear was the appropriate dress of the day as the Denver Broncos play host to Minnesota before the usual sellout crowd, 76,000 plus on hand at Mile High Stadium. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, and welcome to a typically perfect football day in Denver. We have the Broncos at 5-3, winners of their last 2. Minnesota comes in struggling. They're 4-4, but they have lost their last 2 ball games. I'm joined by Dan Fouts, who appropriately enough is down on a field he knows very well. Dan, what effect will the snow have on the field?
Well, I'm literally on the field, Vern, as you can see. This field is in fantastic condition. The players today are wearing their normal shoes. Some are wearing a little bit bigger spikes, that's about all. But the field is in great shape. It was covered until noon today, and as long as this weather holds up, it'll be in good shape.
In his illustrious 11-year career with the Broncos, John Elway has led the team to 3 Super Bowls and has had some marvelous seasons. But by his own account, he is off to his best year ever. Dan, do you agree?
Absolutely, Vern. The amazing thing in talking to John is how relaxed he is now. He says the pressure is off him because of this Jim Fossil offense. And that's pretty amazing because he is the franchise player here in Denver. The challenge today for Minnesota, of course, will be to put pressure on that franchise player. And when you're talking pressure, it's got to come up front. Henry Thomas, John Randall, Chris Dolman, and Roy Barker have got to put the heat on John Elway.
One other note for the Vikings, they will not have the presence of Robert Smith. The running back suffered from an ear infection all this week after chickenpox a week ago. He did make the trip down by commercial aircraft this morning, but the trip made him ill. He's in the locker room trying to sleep right now and is in the inactive list. So Robert Smith will not be a part of an offense that gained only 20 yards on the ground last week, losing to San Diego. Minnesota has won the toss. Jason Elam will kick off. As you can see, he's had 8 touchbacks among his 43 kickoffs this year, and Qadri Ismail is the middleman of 3 back for the Vikings. Wade Phillips in his first full year as head coach of the Denver Broncos. And a sellout crowd on hand for the 185th consecutive home game. Ismail at the goal line. Spilled at the 23-yard line, and Sean Salisbury will open as a starting quarterback for the 2nd week in a row. He came on in relief of the injured Jim McMahon against Detroit week before last. Up front, he'll have Lindsey and McDaniel, Adam Schreiber, Scott Adams, and Tim Irwin. Barry Word will open at running back. Anthony Carter, who caught 10 last week, is joined by Chris Carter and Qadri Ismail at wide receivers, and Steve Jordan is the tight end. And here is Sean Salisbury, 3-1 as a starter last year, his 2nd start of the season this afternoon. Throws on first down, looks right all the way, fires it out for Jordan, who makes the catch at the 27-yard line. And Mike Kroll, along with Tyrone Braxton, make the stop. Defensively for the Broncos, it's Williams, Cragen, and Shane Dronette up front. The linebackers, Fletcher, Wyman, Mecklenburg, and Mike Kroll, who just made the last tackle. And in the secondary, Lilo Lang starts for an injured Charles Dimry. Atwater, Smith, and Braxton are the others. And that running attack up the middle, Barry Word doesn't get much out near the 30-yard line where he'll be short at first down. Sean Salisbury, whose wife Kim grew up in the Cherry Hill section of Denver. So Sean last night was third down. Caught. First down, Denver. Jordan with his 2nd grab. And after a brisk and quick walk up from the field, I'm joined by my partner. Welcome back.
Well, I know why they call it Mile High Stadium, Vern. There's no air here. It's even worse than when I was playing. But defensively today, the Broncos are probably the best team on 1st and 2nd down. So watch for the Vikings to come out and throw the ball on play action early in the game.
First down and 10. We'll let you catch your breath. Here's Barry Word heading left with Mike Tice leading the way. And Word gets a couple out near the 38-yard line. Kroll and Dan Williams make the tackle. Brian Billick, the offensive coordinator, was appointed to that spot in week 2, replacing Jack Burns. Brian Billick, who began his collegiate career just down I-25 at the Air Force Academy.
And he knows that the altitude can be a problem here in Denver, especially when it comes to substitutions. He's going to have to keep an eye on all his receivers.
2nd and 8. Blitz. Salisbury is caught and dropped. Carl Mecklenburg, the 76th sack of his career.
And Mecklenburg is number 77. He's going to come right up the gut. You see him lining up as a down lineman here. Told me he's played every defensive position in his career with the Broncos except in the secondary. That time he went in there and got his 7th sack of the season.
That brings up a 3rd down and 17. Carl Mecklenburg, the 11th round or 12th round draft pick out of Minnesota 11 years ago. Roger Craig is in the lineup out of the shotgun. Salisbury goes deep left side, incomplete. Chris Carter couldn't make the grab. Lilo Lang was defending. It'll be 4th down.
They are the best defense in 3rd down conversions in the entire NFL, about 31%. And that's Charlie Walters, defense coordinator. It says the key, though, for good defense on 3rd down is good defense on 1st and 2nd down.
Harry Newsom is on to punt. And Glenn Milburn is back to returning. He waits at the 23. That's a dandy by Newsom. Excellent punt. Milburn at the 17-yard line. Gets a block. Derek Tennell knocks him out of bounds at the 36-yard line. So John Elway and the Broncos come on after a 54-yard punt and a 19-yard return. 60 and 16 in his career as a starter at Mile High. John Elway. Up front, it's Zimmerman, Melander, Wydell, Habib. Zimmerman and Habib, of course, are former Vikings. Russell Freeman, the other offensive lineman. Bernstein in the backfield. Johnson, Russell, Shannon Sharp, and Reggie Johnson. 1st and 10 from the 35. No score. Broncos' first possession of the ball game. And Elway, for the 4th consecutive game, they have had a turnover on their first possession. 4 games in a row now. And Fred Strickland makes the recovery as John Elway can't handle the center snap.
Really unusual for Elway to drop a center snap, working with Dave Wydell. But it was a perfect snap by Wydell. Elway just wasn't ready for it. And now the scramble's on. Strickland reaches out and pulls it in. And the Vikings take over inside the 35.
That is only the 4th fumble recovery all season by the Minnesota Vikings. They have had a problem in getting turnovers. And that one was given to them. Here's Barry Word to the 30-yard line.
But you have this type of weather conditions, Vernon, you're going to expect to see turnovers. Probably some interceptions, but the fumble, they're very unusual. First play, offensive play for Denver.
Welcome those of you who are watching the 49ers in Tampa Bay. We have no score. The Vikings with a 2nd down. Here comes the blitz. And out of the backfield, Steve Jordan with his 3rd catch gets it to the 30-yard line. He and Dennis Smith exchange words.
That's going to be a real good matchup all day long. One of the premier tight ends in Steve Jordan. And, of course, one of the all-time great strong safeties, Dennis Smith. Smith said he told me that he learned how to play strong safety way back when he was a USC teammate of Ronnie Lott's. Lott was the strong safety on that Trojan ball club, and Smith was the weak safety. And just watching Ronnie Lott helped Dennis a lot.
There you see the 49ers' big win over Tampa Bay. Here, no score. 3rd and 4, Minnesota. Salisbury under his center, 1 running back. And the blitz is not coming this time. Here's Salisbury, has a man wide open. Anthony Carter trips up at the 5-yard line. Looked like Carter was going to stroll in, and he may have tripped himself.
He absolutely tripped himself, Vern. Dennis Smith got his hands on him, but he spun away. Watch the good pass by Salisbury. Threads the needle in here to Carter, who makes a wonderful catch. Now he's going to trip himself right about the 5-yard line. His feet get tangled up there, and he was looking for another defender. There's the defender, Atwater, and trips down just about at the 1-yard line.
Anthony Carter, who caught 10 last week, 27 yards on that one.
Has to be real disappointed he didn't get in the end zone.
Barry Word is the running back. Play action. Salisbury fumbles the ball. There's a scramble for it. And I believe Denver has it.
Mecklenburg with another big play for the Broncos. And the ball is not wet. The ball is a dry football. But both Salisbury now and Elway have fumbled. Looked like Salisbury reached the ball out and it hit Barry Word's elbow and then went on the ground. And then Sean just couldn't get control of it after it was on the ground. Big turnover.
Turnovers even at 1-1. Scoreless game intact. Elway hands it off to Bernstein, who is stuffed in the backfield. John Randall, 93, leads the way.
And number 25, Vincey Glenn, former teammate of Rod Bernstein's in San Diego. Spent last night having dinner together. But Rod told me Friday afternoon that he's just going to have to tell Vincey, if I get the chance, I'm going to have to run over you, pal. That time Vincey had some help.
Robert Del Pino checks into the backfield with Bernstein now on 2nd down and 10. No score. Early first quarter. Elway, Bernstein slips the tackle of Carlos Jenkins and moves the ball out near the 17-yard line before Jack Del Rio makes the stop. A gain of 9. Viking defense. Dolman, Randall, Thomas, and Barker. They are having an excellent season up front, particularly when it comes to pressure applied. Strickland, Del Rio, and Jenkins are the linebackers, and the secondary includes McMillan, Vincey Glenn, Todd Scott, and Carl Lee.
Vikings don't expect the Broncos to give their offensive line a lot of help. They know the Broncos like to get all 5 of their receivers out in the pass route, so that could be an advantage for Minnesota.
3rd and 1. John Elway has to call time. Burns one. Not happy about it.
No, it's a case of that old 40-second clock running down on the quarterback. Play was not given to Elway fast enough so he could relay it to his teammates in the huddle.
There's Wade Phillips, who was hospitalized for a night earlier this week with gastroenteritis. Anywhere else, that would probably earn a mention on the front page of the sports page the next day. But in Denver, one station went live with a press conference. It was a major news story here. John Elway told us that's when he realized that Bronco Mania hadn't gone away completely.
Yeah, well, this offense has brought Bronco Mania back. You see the improvement that Denver has this year. They're number 2 in the league, just behind San Francisco by a fraction in points per game. And that production is way up from what it's been the last couple of years here in Denver.
Back in 1982, the offensive coordinator at Stanford, with Rod Dowhauer the head coach, was Jim Fassel. He actually recruited John out of high school in 1980. And John, of course, an illustrious All-American career at Stanford. There is Jim Fassel, former head coach at Utah. Last year, the offensive coordinator of the New York Giants. 3rd and 1. That's going to be close. Real close.
You know, not only are the Broncos good on defense on 3rd down conversions, but they lead the NFL on offensive 3rd down conversions, converting of almost 49%. This one is real close.
Del Pino, the carrier, and Strickland, the tackle. Tom White is the referee.
But, you know, one of the statistical oddities, though, is that Denver on 4th down conversions, where it's usually 1 or 2 yards to go, they're only 1 out of 7. So that tells me they're not real good at converting when they have to run the ball.
And they didn't this time. 4th down. And Wade Phillips will not gamble this early and this deep in the ball game. So Tom Ruin is on to punt.
Good defensive stand for Minnesota after the disappointing turnover and the bad handoff between Salisbury and Barry Ward. Defense comes up big, 3 plays and a punt.
Eric Gulliford is back to return this punt. And Tom Ruin is ready to kick it on 4th and 1. Turnovers now even at 1-1, as these two teams meet for only the 8th time ever, Minnesota and Denver, and the first time here since 1984. Nice high punt. Gulliford, fair catch. Makes the grab at the 37-yard line. And so Sean Salisbury and the Minnesota Vikings come back on the field after that 46-yard punt.
And in talking to Sean, he said one of the problems they're going to have today with this loud crowd here at Mile High Stadium is that it's going to be difficult for them to audible. So what they're going to do is they're going to sometimes call 2 plays in the huddle or on the sidelines and then just go directly to the ball and line up in a 2-play sequence. If they have a play called and the defense, it looks like it's going to be a difficult play for them, they're going to have to adjust the pass routes on the run. They're going to have to live with the play that's called in the huddle.
First down and 10. Up the middle, Barry Word to the 40-yard line. We welcome those of you who've been watching the Green Bay New Orleans game. Our score, zip. Midway through the first quarter, Minnesota had a 1st and goal on the Denver 1-yard line, but Sean Salisbury fumbled the ball, recovered by the Denver Broncos, who then were forced to give it up. So now on the 3rd possession of the game, here is Minnesota with a 2nd down and 7. Throws it deep, almost picked off by Dennis Smith. Salisbury was in trouble at the outset.
Yeah, Dan Williams, by making that pressure on the quarterback, almost gave Dennis Smith a gift interception. Watch number 90 here. He's totally unblocked. Vikings were counting on him maybe going after the fake, but he sees the ball's in the quarterback's hands, and it's sick-em time. Good pressure by Dan Williams, who's playing on a real tender left ankle.
He's one of the members of the youngest team in the National Football League. The average age of the 52 players, 26 years. Here's Salisbury. Fires it, intercepted. Picked off by Robinson, and he's got the ball at the 31-yard line. Frank Robinson's first interception. And a return of 13 yards.
This turnover hurts almost as badly as the first turnover. Watch Salisbury throw the ball late to the outside to Chris Carter. Pressure forces him out of the pocket, and then he just makes a poor decision right there as Frank Robinson breaks on the ball and picks it off.
So the Broncos get it back at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10, no score in the game. Shannon Sharp in motion. Elway, safety valve pass to Johnson, the tight end. And he moves it down to the 25-yard line where Fred Strickland makes the tackle. That's a gain of 6.
Now the pressure's going to come up the middle, but what the tight end is doing on the outside there, Johnson, he's taking a little bit of the heat off of Dolman. You see Dolman is nowhere near Elway, and the pass is complete after the block on the tight end. Elway did a nice job of avoiding that pressure right up the gut.
Elway will go out of the shotgun, and Glenn Milburn checks into the backfield beside him. 2nd down, 4-man rush. Elway will scramble and finds his receiver open. It's Milburn, and he's tackled at the 21-yard line. That'll be close for the 1st down. Fred Strickland with a tackle and a gain of 5. Well, we'll bring you up to date. Green Bay wins a big ball game in New Orleans. 49ers win big. The Giants defeat Washington. Miami, Don Shula wins number 325, and Houston rolls over Cincinnati 38-3.
I did a television show here the other night with a local sports writer named Woody Page, who predicted that Cincinnati would beat Houston.
Did he? No wonder we haven't seen Woody in the area for a while. Rod Bernstein is back in the backfield. Flag is down. So's Elway. Chris Dolman got him after Roy Barker applied the initial pressure.
And Roy Barker also jumped off sides, got into that neutral zone. 92 offsides.
Offsides, 92 defense, 5 yards, still 1st down.
Well, John Tierlink, the defensive line coach, says he doesn't mind if his team is offsides.
Yeah, but you got to wonder, though, that at times that would have been a big play for the defense with Dolman coming around and sacking Elway. But Cherlink likes that ratio of 1 sack, 1 offsides.
Arthur Marshall and Glenn Milburn check back in on 1st and 10 from the 15. 1st and 5, rather. Left side, Shannon Sharp to the 4-yard line. And now it'll be 1st and goal, a gain of 11.
That's the difference in this Bronco offense this year from past years. There's nobody in the backfield with Elway. All his 5 receivers are on the line of scrimmage. He reads the open man. It's Shannon Sharp. He takes the ball inside the 5, and the Broncos are in business. Elway had to get rid of that ball because he was facing some real pressure right up the middle from John Randall.
Bernstein back in on 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. No score. Broncos 1st and goal at the Minnesota 4. Bernstein. And that's a pickup of 1 down near the 3-yard line.
Yeah, I played 1 year with Rod Bernstein in San Diego, Vern, and that was 7 years ago. And he is finally, in his own words, the featured back. Remember, he came in the league as a tight end. He was supposed to be the heir apparent to Kellen Winslow in San Diego. That didn't work out. Coaching staffs changed. They put Rod at fullback, but then he had to share time with Marion Butts. Here in Denver, he's the main guy and happy about it.
And he is the big guy at 245.
Yes, he is.
And then they swing in Milburn at 180. Here's Elway back. He's thrown for 15 of these this year, but this won't be another one. John Elway has really improved his touchdown pass production through the first 8 games of this year.
He's got 10 more touchdown passes than he has interceptions. That's a pretty good improvement because his history is basically 1 interception, 1 touchdown pass. But this offense really suits John. It very similar to the offense he ran 10, 11, 12 years ago when he was at the University of Stanford.
3rd and goal from the 4. Del Pino comes in, split backs with Rod Bernstein. Elway looks back across the field. Nobody there. Then fires it deep. Caught. Touchdown. Derek Russell. Patience pays off.
And did that look like Joe Montana throwing to Dwight Clark in the catch when the 49ers beat the Cowboys? Just staying alive by the quarterback. Elway could have stepped out of bounds. He could have thrown the ball away, but he forced the defense to commit and then lofted it over their heads for the easy touchdown. Great play by John Elway.
Derek Russell's 3rd touchdown catch of 1993, and it comes on his 27th reception of the season. Jason Elam, he is on to tack on the extra point. Blocked. How about that? How about that? Tim Irwin, number 76, the longtime veteran tackle who was one of only 3 men who started for Minnesota the last time they played here.
Watch Elway just keep his wits about himself. The defender comes up, McMillan, and there's Russell in the corner of the end zone for the 6.
If you give up AT&T quality and call from Atlanta to Boston with someone else, here's your big savings. Leaving AT&T doesn't make a lot of sense.
Here are some more firsts where First Interstate Bank just can't help you. But there are firsts where First Interstate can be a big help, like helping you fix up your house to make it the home you really want. We'll do everything possible to help you with that. And because there's so many times when no one can help you, when it comes to banking, come to First Interstate Bank, and we'll go out of our way to help you. As long as we can.
This Camel's system is so adaptive, it can travel 50 miles in desert heat without taking fluid, making it one of the world's most dependable animals. This automobile system is so adaptive that if necessary for your safety, it is engineered to travel 50 miles in desert heat without a single drop of coolant, which might also tell you something about its dependability. The Seville STS with the North Star system by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
You have any idea why Duracell batteries last so long?
Why they last so long?
Yes.
I can never explain why. I'm not a sort of an engineer, but it's all we carry.
and never got a complaint.
That's good enough for us, Mike.
Duracell. No other battery lasts longer.
Tommy Maddox is going to fumble this snap. He catches the ball, but then he can't seem to get it on its point. Ball leans forward, and then it's just a drill shot into the gut of Big Tim Irwin. 7 times he's done that, Vern.
And years from now, Tim Irwin will talk about the great penetration he had on the extra point at Mile High. Here's Kadri Ismail. And he's down at the 20-yard line. So the Vikings, who about 5 minutes ago had a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, have fallen behind 6-0. They do have the ball back, and time has been called. Snowing in Denver. 6-0 Broncos.
To appreciate the higher standard created by the spacious 6-passenger accommodations of the all-new Cadillac DeVille Concours, you need only travel around town. To appreciate the responsiveness of its sophisticated North Star system, you might prefer to travel around the country. But before its North Star V8 will require its first 100,000-mile scheduled tune-up, you'd have to travel around the world 4 times. The Cadillac DeVille Concours, creating a higher standard.
When I became my own boss, I also became my own employee. So now he tells me to make coffee, open the mail, make sure the copier's working. So I checked around and people said get a Canon personal copier. Canon has a unique single cartridge that contains the toner, developer, drum, and virtually all the moving parts. Change the cartridge, and it's like getting a new copier. Buying it was such a good idea, I took him to lunch.
Canon personal copiers. Call 1-800-4321-HOP.
I lost my shoes, I broke my arm, and my socks didn't match. I was as sorry as your average chicken sandwich. And then I tried McDonald's new McGrilled Chicken Extra Value Meal. A marinated chicken breast with Monterey Jack, sweet red onions, and tangy herb dressing on a bakery roll, plus fries and a Coke. Well, my arm got better, my socks both matched, and I just found a Rembrandt in my garage.
Coincidence? We don't think so. Try the new McGrilled Chicken Sandwich Extra Value Meal. Further proof that what you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. McDonald's, what you want is what you get at McDonald's today. The new Norelco razors, our closest shave ever. And by Canon, a world leader in office equipment.
Roger Craig is in the lineup for the Minnesota Vikings, rather. And he gets the carry out to the 30-yard line. 9-yard carry for the veteran who was an unrestricted free agent acquisition from the Raiders.
Here's an example of the Vikings calling 2 plays in the huddle. This is not a hurry-up offense. They just want to take Denver out of their comfort zone, give them something different to look at and think about.
So on 2nd and 1, Salisbury on a timing pattern, perfect pass, and Anthony Carter slips up again. This time he did not trip on his own. He was tripped up.
Well, this is the reason that Salisbury's had success the last couple of weeks and really getting Anthony Carter back involved in the offense. That arm is a strong arm. That's a great throw by Salisbury. And unfortunately, Carter's having trouble, not with the field, but it looks like with his own feet.
Yeah, it was. He did trip himself for the 2nd time. That's a gain of 30, 1st down 10 at the 40. And here's Roger Craig. Flag is down. This one's going to come back.
There's the holding call. That's Tom White, our referee for today. Hold number 123.
If you're into status numbers, that's not a good one.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. Number 64 offense. 10 yards.
You get Randall McDaniel for going up into the face mask. Very unusual call on a running play. Usually you see that on a pass play.
Denny Green looking on. First time he has coached here at Mile High Stadium. In 1980, Dennis Green was on a Stanford coaching staff and coached John Elway. He was reminiscing about John as a college quarterback with us last night. 1st down and 20, 6-0 Broncos. Blitz. Salisbury, deep left side, man coverage, and it's a diving grab. Perfectly thrown and caught. Anthony Carter with 18 catches in the last 2 weeks, and what a big grab that was.
He's got 3 so far. And he's just about at 100 yards at 97. A great throw again by Salisbury, really showing off that strong arm of his. But the effort here at the end is just what we've become accustomed to seeing from Anthony Carter, although we haven't seen it that much lately. Just really a route that he really had no involvement in until the very end, trying to lull Frank Robinson to sleep. But it's the effort at the end of the play that sets AC apart from the rest.
10 catches last week, 3 today for 70 yards, a couple of trips. And it's going to be first down. Officially, they're going to call this the 11-yard line.
Player was leaving the field. Therefore, we stopped the game. Reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
We only heard the last part of that explanation, but apparently everything is in order. Officially call this the 11-yard line. They can get a first down without the touchdown. Craig hit at the line of scrimmage and manages to get, maybe 6 feet. Just another addendum to the Robert Smith story. Chicken pox last week, ear infection this week. Did not come down with the team on the charter yesterday. Came down commercially this morning. The plane was delayed by weather. He got sick on the airplane. He is not feeling well at all. He is in the locker room trying to sleep and will fly back with the team after the game, but he's inactive today. Second down and 7. Into the end zone, Carter. And he was open in the pass a little high and hot.
Yeah, but you got to make
Catchable,
that catch. Yes,
bet.
sir, Vern. It was a hot one, and Salisbury is known for throwing sometimes too hard on short routes. But when you're in the red area, that field really shrinks, and you've got to throw the fastball. This ball is coming pretty good, and usually Chris Carter makes that catch. But didn't that time.
3rd and 10. Sean Salisbury told us last night he hoped it snowed today. He got his wish. Timing pattern, end zone, Anthony Carter. No good. Out of bounds. Carter says yes. The official, whose authority will prevail, said
Didn't get his feet down is the call. It's a blitz, though. Watch number 40. That's Hall coming right up the middle. Atwater gets a real late break. He's a non-factor. And then at the end of the play, he didn't get the left foot down. The right foot did get in right there. But watch, the left foot is just coming off the ground. That is really close.
Broncos have too many men on the field. They call time. That's their second timeout. Dan Williams was trying to hurry off and couldn't get there. Sometimes you can get away with 12 men on the field. It's difficult to hide 13. Broncos called time.
You build a new razor with precision heads to shave below the skin in comfort. And what do you get? Cut a precision groove to help the Norelco lift and cut system shave even closer. And what do you get? Build a razor that shaves closer, smoother than ever before. And what do you get? The new Norelco razors, our closest shave ever.
Imagine you just stepped on the accelerator of an Eldorado touring coupe with the North Star system by Cadillac. Suddenly you passed 60 miles per hour, and as you quickly approach 100 miles per hour, you're wondering, is this really a Cadillac? Of course, you wouldn't really do this because you're not a professional test driver on a closed track. But if you were, you could approach 150 miles per hour. The Eldorado touring coupe with the North Star system by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
Wouldn't it be great? Yeah! If you invented a special potion that turned anybody into Rachel Hunter, the supermodel.
Ralph, would you take me for a walk?
Cool.
Ralph, we gotta work all weekend.
All weekend.
And your special potion turned ordinary beer in a can into Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry, specially lined for really smooth
bottle beer taste. Ralph, mind if I join your party?
Sure, Bert. Come on over. Wouldn't that be great?
6-0 Denver leading Minnesota. Touchdown catch made by Derek Russell. And here's Shane Dronette and the field goal defensive team that's on. Harry Newsom will hold. And Fawad Rivas, 14 of 18 for the year, this from 25 yards out. And the Vikings are on the board. That will cut the margin in half as Fawad Rivas hammers it home from 25 yards away. 6-3 Broncos.
The Standard, an automobile seat that may transfer bumps from the road and aggravate your back. The higher standard in the all-new Cadillac DeVille is new suspension seating, which acts like a shock absorber for the driver's back, isolating you from bumps to help reduce back pressure and increase circulation, which should leave you more refreshed mile after mile. Suspension seating in the new V8-powered DeVille by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
You're kidding. The heat's off on Saturday? I can't get a copy of Fixed on Saturday. That's helpful.
Technical support is closed on Saturday and...
Please send up some coffees.
UPS introduces Saturday Pickup.
You'll pick up the package?
With guaranteed tracking and guaranteed air delivery by 10:30 a.m. Monday.
Great.
Coffee.
All for less than our competitors.
How you doing?
Hi. Finally, something on Saturday.
Iced coffee.
Guaranteed to go right. UPS.
What would you have if you took a taste just like White Zinfandel and added the celebration of champagne? You'd have something even better than White Zinfandel. You'd have the delicious new taste of Eden Rock Brut Rosé. The dazzling new taste in champagne.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Look to us for special delivery. Call us. We'll arrange to pick you up at your home, office, or repair shop. That's special delivery. That's Enterprise.
Academy Award winner John Voight is Woodrow Call. Witness his moment of truth.
I'm going to catch 3. Captain!
Return to Lonesome Dove tonight.
In 1970, the Broncos played the Pittsburgh Steelers at home against Mile High and drew a crowd of 50,000 plus. That was a sellout as the stadium was configured then. They have sold out every game since. 185 in a row. The stadium now holds 76,000, but not every seat is filled today. There's some less than Hardy Bronco fans.
Well, I'm just proud I have something to do with that record, Vern. I played here 15 times, and they were all here then. Those times.
And a lot of times very close to you over on that visiting bench, right?
Yeah, I think that they had a real home field advantage. They have security now behind the benches in this stadium, but back then they let them hang all over the fence onto our bench.
Rivas with the kickoff. Derek Russell has it for the Broncos. And he's got a lot of room. All down at the 50. The tackle made by one of the fastest men of the Vikings, Qadri Ismail. But a 49-yard kickoff return for Derek Russell.
It really seems like Ismail's had to make a lot of tackles on kickoff returns. Great block here by number 22, Glenn Milburn. He's going to pop Russell free as he puts the block on Scott. Big return for the Broncos, and they have excellent field position again.
By 15 yards, that is the longest kickoff return this season for Denver. Milburn stays in the lineup, gets the handoff, and goes right. Vincey Glenn up around the shoulders, but Milburn moves it to the 23-yard line. A 26-yard gain.
This is Milburn's longest run of his short NFL career. This is what the Broncos need, though, is a little change-up here. Strickland takes the inside route, and Milburn's speed gets him to the outside. And the weak safety, Vincey Glenn, has to come over and make another tackle.
Milburn for the season with 135 yards coming in. Final play of the quarter. Out of the shotgun. Elway lobs it to Milburn. And he is down at the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 8 yards as the Denver Broncos are in scoring position for the second time in the ballgame. They used a Frank Robinson interception to set up a touchdown catch by Derek Russell. The extra point was no good. The Vikings have a field goal. So at the end of one, it's 6-3 Denver.
Football.
real football.
On real grass.
Lambeau Field in snow.
No, too obvious. What about the fearsome foursome?
The Purple People Eaters.
Carl Eller.
No name defense.
The Oakland Raiders.
Baltimore Colts.
Hey, Mike Curtis.
Reinitschke.
Willie Lanier.
Immaculate reception.
Franco's Italian.
Oh, real fullback.
Franco Harris, Marv Hubbard, take your pick.
No. The Snake to Clarence Davis, 26 seconds left. AFC semifinals versus Miami.
Beechwood aged Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
Last night I dreamt about it again. The number 7. It was everywhere like a cosmic signpost urging me on. Maybe it meant that the 7 layers of bliss were within reach. Rice, beans, sour cream, lettuce, pepper, cheese, tomatoes, and guacamole. Only 99 cents. New at Taco Bell. The 7-layer burrito. People say if your dream's too big, you won't get it. You can get it, but only for a limited time.
Cross it. It was pouring rain. I was late. The guy from Xerox was waiting to talk about my documents. My documents, I asked. Add impact to your direct mail, he says. Just add color. You can get 25% more responses. More responses, I say? And I see it, how color gets my documents to make money. I say call my direct mail anything you want. If you're helping my cash flow, you're talking my language.
See your documents differently. Call 1-800-ASK-XEROX, the document company.
Back for quarter number 2, improving the Bronco offense a goal in the offseason. John Elway's very happy.
We signed 3 offensive linemen, and we got Gary Zimmerman in the trade. We got Robert Del Pino from the Rams. We got Rod Bernstein in free agency as running back. So it's exciting for me because we've never had this much talent on offense to where we've got so many different options and so many guys that can make big plays.
And they have a 2nd down and 2 as we begin quarter number 2. 6-3, they lead it. Here's Elway back. Finds Shannon Sharp inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Jack Del Rio makes the tackle.
There's some of that talent. Their leading receiver, Shannon Sharp. But the amazing statistic that you look at the Broncos, they have 11 different receivers have caught passes this year, and 8 different receivers have caught touchdown passes. That is distributing the ball to all your offensive weapons.
A plethora of potential receivers.
God bless you.
And I did it without sneezing. 1st and goal at the 8. Milburn back in. Arthur Marshall comes wide right. Russell in the slot. They hand it to Milburn. Tries to dance to the outside, and he is caught and dropped, and here come the flags. Todd Scott made the tackle.
Maybe a face mask call against Scott. This is really unfortunate for the Vikings because they were going to drop Milburn for a big loss.
From the 8 back to the 12. Yeah, 4 yards.
Milburn's going to bounce this to the outside, and Scott surprises him with his speed, but it's going to be the left hand right there. Just hooks the face mask.
Personal
and a couple
foul.
Flags see it.
Grabbing the face mask. Minnesota. That'll be 15 yards from the spot where the ball was declared dead before the foul occurred. 1st and goal.
If he marks it off 15 yards, we got a scoop.
We got a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's really a penalty. I think it's half the distance to the end zone.
I think so. I wanted to see him march on in and then realize, whoops.
Well, the fans would have loved it, that's for sure. Especially those South Enders here at Mile High.
Right. 1st and goal at the 6. Out of the shotgun, Elway again. 4-man rush by the Vikings. Elway goes left, one hopper. Incomplete. It was thought by Tony Dungy, the defensive coordinator, that the key for them is to stop the run, force Elway to throw 30 to 35 times, and get some pressure.
Yeah, well, he's 7 out of 9, so if he throws it 30 times, it's probably going to mean 25 completions, unless the Vikings can come up with some way of getting more pressure on number 7. Hasn't been hurried at all today, hasn't been knocked down, uniform nice and clean, and he's got a touchdown pass as well.
2nd and goal from the 6. 5-man rush. Flag is down, so is Milburn, and then another flag, and that one hits Wydell right in the face mask. Tom White, and it's going to be against Minnesota, the white flag rule.
Both flags might be, Vern. It looked like one was called before the ball was snapped, so that might mean offsides. And then it looked like Tom White. There's the offsides call. And the personal foul, grabbing the face mask call. So The Vikings are their own worst enemy here. 3 penalties in the last couple of plays.
Offsides, number 97, lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, grabbing a face mask. Number 90, that penalty is accepted. That's a 1st and goal.
Why do I get the idea that Tom White is cold?
That microphone picks up all the little shivers and shakes down there.
Robert Harris is the guilty party on the personal foul. 1st and goal from the 3. I formation. Delpino the short back, and Bernstein the deep man. It's Delpino. Touchdown, Denver.
That's 5 rushing touchdowns this year for Robert Delpino. A quick hitter over the left side behind Melander and center Dave Wydell, and he got in rather easily.
Robert Delpino, an erstwhile Los Angeles Ram. And the Broncos used the kickoff return of Russell to set up this very short touchdown drive of 49 yards. Maddox will hold. Elam will kick it. This time, the hold is perfect, and the kick is as well. Robert Delpino, the fullback in the I formation, takes it 3 yards and increases the Denver Bronco lead. They're up by 10 at 13-3.
You might expect Lexus to unveil our latest line of cars after inspecting them once, or twice, or perhaps 3 times. But each of our cars must pass inspection on over 100 items. And after that, they're covered by a special limited warranty. Announcing Lexus certified pre-owned cars. Only at your Lexus dealer, ready for your inspection.
Wouldn't it be great if you were stranded on a desert island with a beautiful woman named Betty? Cool. And while scouting the island, you were suddenly surrounded.
You!
But then they noticed your shoes.
You! Great one! Booga, booga!
So they gave you gifts.
Keystone!
Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Specially lined for really smooth.
Bottle beer taste in can! Quitting time!
Wouldn't that be great?
So what's this new deal?
2 pizzas.
2 pizzas. Write that down.
And on the 2 pizzas, choose any topping up to 5.
Do you
have to pick the same topping on each pizza? No.
Then the possibilities are endless.
What do you mean? 5 plus 5 are 10.
Actually, there are 1,048,576 possibilities.
10 was just a ballpark figure.
You got that right.
Little Caesar's favorite 5, not 1, but 2 pizzas. Choice of 5 toppings, $7.98.
Pizza.
The strength of this Minnesota defense all year has been their 2 tackles, John Randall and Henry Thomas. But talk about sweet revenge. Watch right guard Brian Habib working with Russell Freeman just wipe Randall down inside and allow Delpino to cut off their block and get in the end zone. Broncos are a little bit bigger up front this year with the addition of Habib at 300 pounds and Freeman's a 290-pounder going against the smaller John Randall and Henry Thomas.
Jason Elam will kick it off for the Broncos, who are up 13-3. Kadri Ismail has it at the 7-yard line. Flag is down. So is Ismail at the 20. Rondell Jones, number 31, makes the stop.
And you'd have to assume this is going to be against Minnesota again. And this would be their 5th penalty of the first half.
Holding.
One thing you don't want to do is give the Broncos any help. They do pretty good here by themselves.
Yes, they do.
Holding number 59 during the return. It'll be 10 yards from the 20-yard line. 1st down.
They've been pretty good the last 10 years here. You see their best home record in the NFL since 1984. But the Vikings have had 5 penalties and 2 major turnovers, 1 turnover when they were on the Bronco 1-yard line.
Now Minnesota has a first down at the 10. Steve Jordan starts in motion. The toss goes to Barry Word and a sweep to the right. And he gets good blocking and moves it out across the 20 or right at the 20-yard line. Barry Word, who was acquired from the Kansas City Chiefs, picks up 9 on that play.
And he's one of the few Vikings that has experience playing here in Denver. Of course, played for a number of years with the Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be close enough to bring out the chain gang.
Bulletin. Sun's out.
Quick.
Yeah. Shadows are here.
Yeah, and the sun is on the it goes to the opposite sideline to the opponent's bench, and it's nice and warm there for a while. But the psychological thing is that you can see it going down, and you can see the shadows getting longer and longer, and colder and colder.
Where would this stadium, where would you put this stadium in terms of difficult places to play on the road?
For us in the San Diego Chargers, it was the most difficult place because weird things happen here, Vern. And don't ask me to explain it. We lost a game here one time when our field goal kicker hit the upright 3 times in one game. Lost 7-0.
Up the middle on first down and 10. Barry Word out to the 23-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Well, we've got a good one here. Let's go back to Greg Gumbel in New York City.
All right, Vern, in Dallas, Bernie Kosar was a perfect 3-for-3 throwing in his first series as a Cowboy. It led to Emmitt Smith's 4-yard touchdown run, and it's a 10-0 Dallas lead now in the second quarter over the Cardinals, Vern.
All right, Greg, 13-3 here with 12:40 remaining first half. Denver up by 10. Minnesota with a second down and 6. Salisbury, short set. Puts it out to Steve Jordan. That is his 4th catch. Steve came in needing 10 catches to climb into a tie for number 3 on the list of tight ends catching passes in the history of the National Football League. He tie him with Jackie Smith. The number 1 on that list is Ozzie Newsome.
And the number 2 guy was a teammate of mine, Kellen Winslow. And Jordan is as close to Winslow as I've seen in the NFL. Good receiver and a good blocker.
3rd and 2. Wentz. The catch is made at the 30, but that as it will be enough for the first down. They are going to rule forward progress just across the 30-yard line. And that would appear to be enough for the first down. Roger Craig made the grab.
Dennis Smith is going to keep his eyes on the tight end, Steve Jordan. Lets him go, recognizes the pattern to Roger Craig and makes the tackle just an instant too late from preventing that first down.
First down and 10 with 11:22 remaining. Salisbury, right side. Jordan, first down at the 43-yard line. That's a combination that has worked very effectively today. That's a gain of 14.
A lot of confusion in the Broncos secondary because the Vikings are getting to the line of scrimmage quickly and changing personnel quickly. That time Jordan was just wide open. Nobody covered him at all.
Got a helmet full. And it's first down and 10. Barry Word back in the lineup. Picked up on a bounce, then dropped by Braxton. But the Broncos do recover. Tyrone Braxton. Turnover number 3.
Boy, this ball pops loose inside here. It was a nice gain for the Vikings and Word. And it looked like Carl Mecklenburg, as he spun out of the block, got his left arm out there and popped the ball loose, totally by accident. But I told you, weird things happen here, Vern. Watch Mecklenburg's left hand just come flying back as he was pivoting away from the block. Ball bounces out to Braxton, and the Broncos are in business again.
And not far to go, 37 yards out. Here's Elway. Deep drop screen pass. Caught by Bernstein. Spilled at the 28-yard line by Carl Lee and Vincey Glenn.
Yeah, that hit by Glenn knocked Glenn out of the game. He's going over to the sidelines. That's his good buddy, Rod Bernstein, and he promised him, he says, if it comes down to you and me, Vincey, I'm going to have to run you over. He laid that 245 pounds right into Glenn. Good tackle, but painful one.
Turnover story has been the most important aspect of this first half. 3 turnovers for the Vikings now. 2nd down and 1. Shannon Sharp starts in motion. Elway deep. Man open. No catch. That's the field judge, Richard Reels, who wears number 83, who was very authoritative in saying no.
There's Vance Johnson on the outside, and both he and Sharp are going deep. Ball looks like it's thrown to both of them. Sharp had it there for a moment, but Audrey McMillan came off his man on the outside to strip it away at the last moment.
3rd and 1. Jerry Evans comes in as an extra blocking tight end. Sharp in motion. They hand it off to Del Pino. He's stuffed and the flag is down.
Boy, and I bet you this is lining up in the neutral zone again against the Vikings. The flags were thrown immediately after the ball was snapped. That usually indicates offsides on the defense. If so, this is their 6th.
Offsides. Number 92 defense. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards. First down.
And normally you would think that it's Elway using the hard count to draw these guys off sides. He's not. They're just lining up offsides. You saw Barker there. He was the guy that was down low to the ground, but also too far forward.
Well, thus far, the Vikings have had a heavy hand on the self-destruct button. 6 penalties and 3 turnovers.
They need to hit the reset button.
Exactly. Elway comes right. He'll run it. And Elway is down at the 14-yard line, a gain of 8. Tackle made by J.C. Pearson.
And the crowd loves it because John lowered his shoulder and ran over J.C. Pearson. He said he's used to being the biggest back in the backfield for the Broncos. Bernstein, of course, is bigger now, but throughout John's career, he's always been the power running back for the Broncos. Showed it that time, didn't he?
2nd and 2. He came to 8. I formation again. Bernstein for a couple down near the 13-yard line. Chris Dolman, number 56, with a tackle. Look at the problems the Vikings have had.
And you remember this, one of these 2 fumbles was on the +1 yard line. They had the ball 1st and goal at the 1 yard line and decided to go up top, play action fake. Did not give the ball to Barry Word. The miscue on the fake between Salisbury and Word, and the Broncos recovered the fumble. That was a critical mistake, but also a rather unusual call by Billick and the Vikings when they had the ball on the 1 yard line.
One problem the Broncos have had is game management. They've had to use all 3 of their timeouts already.
Introducing one of the most visually distinct automobiles you've ever seen, and the most technologically advanced Celica Toyota has ever created. The all-new Toyota Celica, with sophisticated safety systems, available ABS, standard driver and passenger side airbags. But despite all this technology, when people see the new Celica, there's only one thing that keeps coming to mind. Watch out, it's here.
Turn it up. Portable stereos devour power. But the music goes on and on with Rayovac Renewal, a new kind of alkaline battery created to be reusable. They outlive those bunny batteries because they're reusable 25 times or more. They outperform old-fashioned rechargeables because you get alkaline power in every charge. More power, more music. That's the power of renewal from Rayovac.
I was driving, and then I forgot where I was. I think I left my body, but then I came back. I got hungry. I brought back a vision, the number 7, the 7-layer burrito. New from Taco Bell. Rice, beans, sour cream, lettuce, pepper, cheese, tomatoes, and guacamole. Only 99 cents for a limited time. I could almost taste it, and then I did. And I came back full.
Cross it.
Next Sunday on CBS,
You got Chicago at Kansas City.
there's Dallas at Atlanta.
And the Giants at Philly.
You gonna finish that?
I'm a big fan.
Next Sunday, NFL continues on CBS. Some of you will see Chicago at Kansas City, Detroit at Green Bay. Others watch the Giants at Philadelphia. Dan and I are going to stay in a territory he knows well. The AFC West will be at Kansas City for that Chicago KC game. 3rd and 1 Broncos midway through quarter number 2 at Mile High. They lead it 13-3. Del Pino and Bernstein in the backfield. Here's the toss, and Del Pino goes left. Has the first down at the 10-yard line. Dallas continues to lead Phoenix 10-0.
Well, they got that quarterback with those diminishing skills playing for him now, right?
I'll tell you what, it didn't diminish his pocketbook at $1 million guaranteed for the end of the year.
Yeah. They ought to see my skills. They want to look at diminished skills. I'll play for half that.
I'll go you one better. How about a quarter?
About a 10th.
Oh, dear. 1st and goal at the 10. Elway out of the shotgun. There's motion again. Dolman may have come offside. Elway throws it away. Had a free play, but it looks like it's going to be the 7th penalty against Minnesota in this half.
Yeah, pretty obvious that the old hard count got Dolman. He hasn't been offsides yet today. The other guys have, lining up, but Chris was just a little quick on the trigger. Tony Dungy says it's difficult to control these guys because that's such a big part of their game. He says it's almost like a track meet. And there's some discussion here as to whether Dolman was pulled offsides.
Henry Thomas is arguing that it's going to go, or that this might be against the Broncos.
False start.
Yeah.
The left tackle moving prior to the snap. That's 5 yards. There is no play. Please reset the clock.
This is unusual for Elway to pull Gary Zimmerman off. Watch him, number 65, right side of the screen. Oh, that's a terrible call.
Ooh.
Zimmerman never moved.
No, looked like a statue.
That's unbelievable. They said it was a false start by left tackle. That's Zimmerman. He never moved.
That's the first penalty against Denver. It'll be 1st and goal from the 15. Johnson, touchdown. Vance Johnson, who was a Bronco, then was traded to Minnesota, lasted a week, was cut, re-signed for a considerably reduced salary by the Denver Broncos. And the only remaining amigo makes the touchdown grab. And we'll pay a fine for that.
No, it didn't go in the stands. It hit the screen. Came back at him. He's hurting a little bit because that was a great effort to lay out, knowing that the big hit was coming from Vincey Glenn. But it's his 4th touchdown catch of the year, and his 34th from Mr. Elway.
And John Elway has thrown for 2 here in the first half of play.
I don't know what's better on this play, Vern, the throw or the catch. But any way you look at it, it adds up to 6 points. A lot of time to throw. It's a high, hard one. Johnson makes the grab, pays the price, and his quarterback is happy.
With the Toyota Touch Lease, there's never been a better time to lease a Toyota. And never a better time to lease a Toyota Camry LE. For only $289 a month, Camry LE comes loaded with air conditioning, dual airbags, power windows and door locks, cruise control, deluxe stereo cassette, and more. For only $289 a month, the Toyota Camry LE and the Toyota Touch Lease. In today's economy, it's perfect timing.
For years, I never even thought
about it. Guess I just didn't want to face things. Yeah, I've been there. But now, my parents, they need real help. It's gonna be tight. We'll just have to manage somehow.
I got this guy at Payne Weber. Put me in a mutual fund for my parents. Same time he set up my kid's college fund.
That long ago? How do you know about your parents back then?
He asked.
Classic television.
Hogan's Heroes.
Green Acres. Arnold Ziffer. Who played him? Nobody. He was the pig. Remember Family Affair?
Mr. French. I loved him. He's attractive.
Pete, Link, Julie. Okay, Ginger or Mary Ann?
Ginger was a bimbo.
Mary Ann. Mary Ann or Jeannie?
Beechwood aged Budweiser.
Jeannie.
Crisp, clean, classic.
Louis Gossett Jr. is Isom Pickett, who always did right until someone did him wrong.
I'm gonna go get him.
Meet him and return to Lonesome Dove tonight.